Welcome to our exploration of a fundamental principle in Stoic philosophy, the dichotomy of control. This concept, simple yet profound, has the power to transform our lives and cultivate inner peace. At its core, the dichotomy of control teaches us to distinguish between what we can influence and what lies beyond our power. By focusing our energy on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, we open the door to a life of greater serenity and purpose. In this episode, we'll delve deep into this Stoic wisdom, examining its practical applications in our modern world. From managing emotions to improving relationships, we'll discover how this ancient principle remains remarkably relevant today. Join me as we embark on this journey to master Stoic serenity and unlock a more fulfilled life. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a powerful concept known as the dichotomy of control. This principle, first articulated by the Greek philosopher Epictetus, forms the cornerstone of Stoic practice and offers profound insights into how we navigate life's challenges. The dichotomy of control posits that in life there are things that are within our control and things that are not. Our thoughts, judgments, and actions fall squarely within our sphere of influence. On the other hand, external events, the actions of others, and the ultimate outcomes of our efforts often lie beyond our control. This seemingly simple distinction has far-reaching implications. By recognizing and accepting this fundamental truth, we can focus our energy and attention on what we can actually influence, rather than wasting time and emotional resources on things beyond our control. The origins of this concept can be traced back to the early Stoics, but it was Epictetus who articulated it most clearly in his work, the Enchiridion. He wrote, "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." Understanding and applying the dichotomy of control is foundational to Stoic practice. It serves as a guiding principle for decision-making, emotional regulation, and the pursuit of a virtuous life. By consistently redirecting our focus to what we can control, we cultivate resilience, peace of mind, and a sense of personal agency, even in the face of adversity. As we delve deeper into the dichotomy of control, it's crucial to identify what truly falls within our sphere of influence. The Stoics taught that our thoughts, judgments, and actions are the primary elements we can control. Our perceptions, beliefs, and the way we choose to respond to external events are entirely within our power. Consider your own mind. You have the ability to shape your thoughts, to reason, and to form opinions. These internal processes are yours to command. You can choose to view challenges as opportunities for growth or as insurmountable obstacles. This power of perspective is a fundamental aspect of what we can control. Our actions, too, are within our domain. While we cannot always control the outcomes, we have full authority over our efforts and intentions. We decide how to allocate our time, energy, and resources. We choose our words, our behaviors, and our reactions to others. Recognizing and focusing on these controllable elements is paramount. By doing so, we direct our energy towards productive ends rather than wasting it on futile attempts to manipulate external circumstances. This focus allows us to cultivate virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline, the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy. Moreover, by concentrating on what we can control, we develop a sense of personal responsibility. We cease to be victims of circumstance and instead become active participants in our own lives. This shift in perspective is empowering and leads to greater contentment and resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. One of the most challenging aspects of applying the dichotomy of control is accepting what lies beyond our influence. We often find ourselves grappling with external events and circumstances that we simply cannot change, no matter how much we might wish to. Stoic approach to dealing with these situations is rooted in a deep understanding and acceptance of reality. It's about recognizing that while we may not have control over external events, we do have control over our responses to them. Consider a sudden change in weather that disrupts your plans. You cannot control the rain, but you can control how you react to it. Will you let it ruin your day, or will you adapt and find an alternative activity? Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This encapsulates the Stoic approach to dealing with externals beyond our control. The key is to shift our focus from the unchangeable externals to our internal responses. Instead of wasting energy on futile attempts to control the uncontrollable, we direct our efforts towards managing our thoughts, judgments, and actions. This doesn't mean we become passive or indifferent. Rather, we learn to respond with wisdom and equanimity. We accept reality as it is, not as we wish it to be, and from that place of acceptance we can act more effectively. Practicing this acceptance is a lifelong journey. It requires constant vigilance and self-reflection. We must continually remind ourselves to distinguish between what we can and cannot control, and to focus our energy where it can make a difference. By embracing this approach, we can find peace amidst chaos, clarity in confusion, and strength in adversity. We learn to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and resilience, embodying the true essence of Stoic wisdom. In our modern world, we're often sold the idea that we can control everything in our lives, from social media influencers promising the perfect lifestyle to self-help gurus claiming we can manifest our desires. This illusion of control permeates our society. But this misconception can be detrimental to our mental well-being and decision-making processes. When we believe we have more control than we actually do, we set ourselves up for disappointment and unnecessary stress. Consider the countless variables that influence our daily lives: economic fluctuations, technological advancements, global events, and even the actions of others. These factors are largely beyond our individual control, yet we often act as if we can bend them to our will. This illusion of control can lead to anxiety and frustration when things don't go as planned. We may blame ourselves for outcomes that were never truly in our hands, leading to decreased self-esteem and increased stress levels. Moreover, this false belief can impact our decision-making. We might take unnecessary risks, believing we can control the outcome. Or we might become paralyzed by choice, thinking that if we just make the perfect decision, everything will fall into place. The truth is, life is inherently uncertain. By acknowledging this, we can focus our energy on what we can actually influence, rather than exhausting ourselves trying to control the uncontrollable. Recognizing the limits of our control doesn't mean surrendering to fatalism. Instead, it allows us to approach life with a more balanced and realistic perspective. We can learn to adapt to circumstances rather than futilely trying to force them to conform to our wishes. By understanding and accepting the true extent of our control, we can cultivate resilience and peace of mind. We can make decisions based on what's truly within our power, leading to more effective actions and a greater sense of tranquility in the face of life's inevitable uncertainties. The dichotomy of control, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, can be particularly powerful when applied to our emotional lives. As we navigate the complexities of human experience, it's crucial to recognize that while we cannot control external events, we do have influence over our reactions to them. Emotions, by their very nature, often feel beyond our control. We experience joy, anger, sadness, or fear as if they were forces acting upon us. However, the Stoics teach us that we have more agency in our emotional responses than we might think. The first step in applying the dichotomy of control to emotions is recognizing that the initial emotional impulse, what the Stoics called the first movement, is indeed not under our control. It's a natural, instinctive reaction. What we can control, however, is our judgment about that impulse and how we choose to act on it. This is where Stoic techniques for emotional regulation come into play. One powerful method is the practice of cognitive distancing. When we experience a strong emotion, we can pause and ask ourselves, is this within my control? This simple question creates a space between the stimulus and our response, allowing us to choose our reaction more deliberately. Another technique was reframing. By consciously shifting our perspective on a situation, we can alter our emotional response. For instance, if we face a challenging situation, instead of viewing it as a threat, we can see it as an opportunity for growth and learning. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of preparing for adversity, a practice known as negative visualization. By regularly contemplating potential hardships, we can build emotional resilience and reduce the impact of unexpected setbacks. Ultimately, applying the dichotomy of control to our emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. Rather, it's about cultivating a mindful approach to our emotional life, recognizing what aspects we can influence, and letting go of what we cannot change. This practice leads to greater emotional stability and resilience, key components of the Stoic ideal of inner peace. When we apply the dichotomy of control to our decision-making process, we gain a powerful tool for clarity and peace of mind. By understanding what is within our control and what isn't, we can focus our energy on the aspects of a situation that we can influence, leading to more effective and less stressful choices. Consider a job interview scenario. We can control our preparation, our punctuality, and our presentation. But we cannot control the interviewer's mood, the competition, or the final decision. By recognizing this, we can channel our efforts into thorough preparation and confident self-presentation rather than worrying about factors beyond our influence. In personal relationships, the dichotomy of control can guide us to more balanced interactions. We can control our words, actions, and reactions, but we cannot control others, perceive, or respond to us. This understanding allows us to communicate openly and honestly, while accepting that we cannot force others to agree with or like us. When facing a health challenge, we can apply this principle by focusing on what we can control: our diet, exercise routine, adherence to medical advice, and attitude. We cannot control the ultimate outcome of our condition, but by concentrating on these controllable factors, we can improve our chances of a positive result and maintain a sense of agency. In business decisions, the dichotomy of control helps us navigate uncertainty. We can control our research, analysis, and the timing of our actions. We cannot control market fluctuations, competitor actions, or unforeseen events. By accepting this, we can make more level-headed decisions based on the information available to us, rather than being paralyzed by the fear of unknown variables. By consistently applying the dichotomy of control to our decision-making process, we cultivate a mindset of focused action and serene acceptance. This leads to more rational choices, reduced stress, and a greater sense of empowerment in the face of life's challenges. Anxiety and worry often stem from our attempts to control the uncontrollable. By applying the dichotomy of control, we can significantly reduce these negative emotions and cultivate mental tranquility. The key lies in recognizing what truly falls within our sphere of influence and what doesn't. When we worry about future events or outcomes, we're essentially trying to control things that are not in our power. A Stoic approach encourages us to shift our focus to our own thoughts, judgments, and actions, the elements we can actually control. For instance, if you're anxious about an upcoming job interview, ask yourself, what aspects of this situation can I control? You can prepare thoroughly, practice your responses, and ensure you're well rested. However, you can't control the interviewer's mood, the questions they'll ask, or their final decision. By concentrating your energy on what you can influence, you'll feel more empowered and less anxious. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, advised us to distinguish between our own actions and their results. We have control over our efforts, but not over their outcomes. This realization can be profoundly liberating. It allows us to do our best and then let go, accepting whatever results may come. Another powerful Stoic technique for mental tranquility is negative visualization. This involves imagining worst-case scenarios and realizing that even these are manageable. By facing our fears head-on, we often find they lose their power over us. We come to understand that we can handle difficulties should they arise. The practice of mindfulness, while not exclusively Stoic, aligns well with their teachings. By staying present and observing our thoughts without judgment, we can break the cycle of anxious rumination. This helps us to respond to situations rationally rather than reacting emotionally. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all negative emotions, but to respond to them wisely. By applying the dichotomy of control, we can transform anxiety and worry into productive action and peaceful acceptance, paving the way for true Stoic serenity. The dichotomy of control plays a crucial role in our interpersonal relationships. By applying this Stoic principle, we can significantly improve our communication and reduce conflicts with others. Let's explore how this concept can transform our interactions. In any relationship, it's essential to recognize what aspects are within our control and what lies beyond it. We have control over our own thoughts, actions, and reactions, but we cannot control the thoughts, feelings, or behaviors of others. This realization can be liberating and lead to more harmonious relationships. When we focus on what we can control in our interactions, we naturally become better listeners and communicators. Instead of trying to change someone else's opinion or behavior, we can concentrate on expressing ourselves clearly and respectfully. This shift in focus often leads to more productive conversations and mutual understanding. Conflicts often arise when we mistakenly believe we can control others or when we react emotionally to things beyond our influence. By applying the dichotomy of control, we can approach disagreements with a calmer mindset. We can express our viewpoint while acknowledging that the other person's response is not within our control. This approach reduces tension and opens the door for more constructive dialogue. Moreover, accepting that we can't control others' actions or feelings can help us develop empathy and compassion. We become more understanding of others' perspectives and less likely to take their actions personally. This mindset fosters deeper connections and mutual respect in our relationships. In practice, applying the dichotomy of control in relationships means focusing on our own virtues and actions. We can strive to be honest, kind, and understanding in our interactions, regardless of how others behave. By doing so, we create a solid foundation for healthy relationships based on personal integrity rather than external validation or control. As we delve deeper into the dichotomy of control, we discover that true inner peace emerges from accepting what lies beyond our influence. This acceptance is not passive resignation, but rather an active embrace of reality as it unfolds. Consider the myriad events that shape our lives: the weather, the actions of others, or the inevitable passage of time. These forces operate independently of our will, yet they profoundly impact our existence. The Stoic path teaches us that struggling against these immutable facts only leads to frustration and discontent. Instead, by accepting the nature of things beyond our control, we free ourselves from the burden of futile resistance. This acceptance allows us to direct our energy towards what we can influence, fostering a sense of empowerment and tranquility. The Stoics took this concept even further with the principle of amor fati, or love of fate. This powerful idea encourages us not only to accept what happens, but to wholeheartedly embrace it. Imagine facing every circumstance, no matter how challenging, with the mindset that it is exactly what you need for your growth and development. Amor fati transforms our relationship with adversity. Instead of viewing difficulties as unfortunate obstacles, we begin to see them as opportunities for learning and self-improvement. This shift in perspective can dramatically reduce stress and anxiety, paving the way for genuine inner peace. Practicing amor fati doesn't mean we become passive in the face of life's challenges. Rather, it allows us to approach them with clarity and purpose. We learn to focus on our response to events, which is always within our control, rather than the events themselves. By cultivating this acceptance and even love for what life brings us, we align ourselves with the natural flow of existence. This alignment is the essence of Stoic serenity, a state of profound inner peace that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Now that we've explored the concept of the dichotomy of control, let's dive into some practical exercises to help you implement this powerful Stoic principle in your daily life. First, try the morning reflection exercise. Each day, take a few minutes to identify what you can and cannot control. Write down your goals and plans, then categorize them into two columns: within my control and beyond my control. This simple practice will help you focus your energy on what truly matters. Next, practice the pause and reflect technique. When faced with a challenging situation, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, remind yourself to accept it calmly. If it is, consider how you can respond virtuously. Another effective exercise is the premeditation of adversity. Regularly imagine potential setbacks or challenges you might face. Mentally rehearse accepting things beyond your control and focusing on your response, the only thing you can truly influence. Throughout your day, practice reframing your thoughts. Instead of saying, "I have to," say, "I choose to." This subtle shift reinforces your agency over your choices and actions. Implementing these practices may seem challenging at first. You might find yourself slipping into old patterns of trying to control the uncontrollable. When this happens, be gentle with yourself. Remember, progress, not perfection, is the goal. To overcome these challenges, consistency is key. Make these exercises a part of your daily routine. Start small, perhaps with just one technique, and gradually incorporate others as you become more comfortable. Additionally, keep a journal to track your progress. Note instances where you successfully applied the dichotomy of control, as well as moments where you struggled. Reflect on these experiences to deepen your understanding and refine your practice. By consistently engaging in these exercises, you'll gradually internalize the dichotomy of control, leading to greater peace of mind and more effective action in your life. As we draw our exploration of the dichotomy of control to a close, let's reflect on the profound wisdom this Stoic principle offers. Throughout our discussion, we've examined how distinguishing between what we can and cannot control is fundamental to achieving inner peace and resilience. We've seen that by focusing our energy on our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, the aspects of life truly within our control, we can significantly reduce anxiety and increase our effectiveness. Conversely, accepting what lies beyond our influence allows us to release the burden of futile worry and resistance. Remember, applying this principle to our emotions, decision-making processes, and relationships can lead to more balanced and fulfilling interactions with the world around us. The exercises we've discussed provide practical ways to implement this philosophy in daily life. Embracing the dichotomy of control is not about passivity or resignation. Rather, it's about channeling our efforts where they matter most, cultivating a serene acceptance of life's uncertainties, and finding freedom in aligning ourselves with the natural order of things. By internalizing this Stoic teaching, we open ourselves to a profound transformation, one that leads to greater equanimity, wisdom, and ultimately to that coveted state of Stoic serenity.